Hello everybody, my name is Matt, and it is time for the World of Warcraft announcement day, I guess. I was trying to set up I basically wanted to just record my reaction to the whole thing, and I was trying to set it up, but XSplit was just not working with me. So, I didn't get to watch it live as it happened, but I watched it like 5 minutes afterwards, so I was behind, so I figured just screw it, I'll just wait until they release little videos about all the things they're talking about, which they did. So we're going to cover some of those here. I'm going to split it into 2 videos. This one's going to be the cinematic, and then they're going to talk about... I saw that there was a new class, or a new race, and class? Whatever, the new... All the story stuff is going to be in this video. So, the zones they talked about, the cinematic, and the class. And there was also another one with Steve Denuser and Taryn Gregory that I'm going to also include in this one. And then the next one will be like the system stuff. So, we're going to begin with the cinematic trailer for Dragonflight, which was data mined or leaked or found almost a month ago at this point. So we're going to start with that in 3, 2, 1, now. What the fuck was that? I hate that they showed little placards at the beginning. So that was Alexstrasza.
The world has been sundered.
It sounds like her, too.
It cries out in pain. We must go to its aid. We entrust our ancestral home to you, the Watchers.
Okay, so after the sundering, the dragons...
Let the land slumber, hidden, even from our own eyes.
Dragons leave the Dragon Isles, which is...
You will feel our return.
What I presume this is.
In the waking of the land.
Pandaria-style cloak over the island.
You must light the beacon of Tyrhold, lest the path home be lost to us.
More Tyr!
Forever.
Tyr is cool. So what is reawakening the Dragon Isles right now? It's still obviously foggy underneath the cloud or whatever, the thing hiding it away like Pandaria. The Crystal Tower! See, this is the epic Final Fantasy XIV WoW crossover. The 12! They're back! Oh, so this is just the Avengers again. I see now we're taking a scene out of the Thor Stormbreaker moment. Goodbye, Mr. Watcher. Oh wait, no, we saw Alexstrasza save him in the beginning. Never mind. Wow, that was from... I did see this, a screenshot of this from the leak. And that was the guy that everyone thought was Garrosh. Wait, was that Rathion? Alright, Kaligos, Alexstrasza, Nozdormu, I presume. Marithra. Whatever her name is, Ysera's daughter.
The world is healing. But her fate is yet uncertain. Together, we shall be Azeroth's protectors once again.
Ooh, that's cool looking.
Here, the new age of dragons shall begin.
The Age of Mortals lasted 10 years and they fucked it up. The Age of Dragons is back again. Alright, the Dragonflight. Okay. Interesting. There was like I didn't need them to be like, this is the next big bad, because I don't want to know like the mega spoilers, but are the Dragon Isles just totally peaceful? Is there a threat? Why did they have to reawaken? Did they have to reawaken the Dragon Isles because of what the Jailer did at the end of Shadowlands? Or where he tried to kill the planet? Or what's... Alright, I guess we'll keep going. I'm getting a lot of vibes of we want to recreate the magic of Mists of Pandaria, but it just doesn't... It's not as good. I don't know exactly why yet, but like dragons are fine, and I know a lot of people really love dragons. Dragons as just like a concept, I'm like, Like I like specific dragon characters because I like the character. I like their arc, I like their personality or their power set or their how they interact with and change the story. It's not just, oh, there's dragons because Warcraft has dragons. And I'm sure that'll work for a lot of people, but just having dragons back in the game doesn't make it feel more Warcraft to me, I guess. I don't know. The dragons have to serve a purpose. They have to have a narrative purpose. Just except for just like, there's 1,000,000,000 dragons now again. So, I don't know. Alright, I'm looking at the Warcraft channel. I'm trying to do these in order. So, first was the cinematic, and next was the Taryn Gregory one with Steve Denuser called Weaving a Story. So, we're going to watch that in 3, 2, 1, now.
Hi there. Welcome to the Dragonflight Deep Dive. I'm Steve Denuser.
And I'm Taryn Gregory. Starting it off here, we're going to talk about the setting and the story of Dragonflight.
We've got this great expansion, exciting pre-render trailer that everyone just watched. So let's talk about the setting for Dragonflight, the Dragon Isles.
Dragon Isles have been known for a long time in Warcraft history as a mysterious place where the dragons came from long ago, but we never
You think we're going to get that scene of that artwork of that like
that
crustacean that was in the Dragon Isles?
Lands of all the Dragonflights, the place where they nested, where they built their civilization. The Dragon Isles was the center of the Dragon's kingdom when the world was young and the mortal races were just starting to form kingdoms.
Where was it on ancient Azeroth?
But when the Legion invaded,
the middle was the Well of
for
Eternity.
that War of the Ancients, that sundering that resulted from the explosion of the Well of Eternity, broke the world.
Literal sundering of the continents of Azeroth.
And because of the breaking of the world, that
known
magic kind of drained away and the land went dormant. So they had to leave the Dragon Isles behind. And as we saw in the pre-render, they left behind some Titan Watchers to look over the land. And when Someday, they hoped that elemental energy would resurge once again and draw the dragons home and reestablish their kingdom.
And that's when the message goes out to the flights, and they feel it in their bones.
Now it's the time for the sky to light up with the colors of the aspects once again.
But what did it?
For Alex Straza and the others to come home. But the land has changed a lot in all these thousands of years they've been away, and some very old threats have awakened as well.
We're looking into the culture of dragons as they exist in Warcraft.
Dragons, as we know them today, were very different in the early past, the early history of Azeroth. They were much more primitive, much more savage, what we now know as proto-dragons.
And then some of the dragons were empowered to become the aspects. The green flight, red flight, blue flight, bronze flight, black flight, each with unique powers, each with the ability to protect the world in different ways. These pillars of draconic power appointed to defend Azeroth from threats within and without.
Dragons used that power both for good, in the case of most of the aspects, but also for nefarious reasons in the case of the black Dragonflight led by Neltharion, who would become Deathwing.
And what we will find
Did we forget what Malagos did?
Is that some of these ancient divisions run deep.
And so just went batshit insane.
Where do we go from here? If this is an opportunity to reclaim their legacy, to be the protectors, as the cinematic mentioned, that they once were.
To do that, they're going to need the help of our heroes, our players, to come to the Dragon Isles with them and face some of these reawakening challenges, because it's not just that this land is peacefully waiting for the dragons to return and reclaim it. There's those old enemies that have awakened as well.
Yeah.
One of those being a race of kind of elemental half-giants, the Jarradin.
The Dragon Isles isn't just populated by dragons or just by the Jarradin. There's also many other occupants here in the Dragon Isles that have been here either just recently or for a while, including a fan favorite coming back, the Tuskar.
That's going to be awesome. We've got other cultures there as well in the Dragon Isles. We're going to find out about a civilization of centaurs that predates the ones that arose on Kalimdor much later.
And some of our favorite characters that we've seen over the last few expansions.
That's why the PTR has been showing
whether he's ready to step up into a leadership role, or if there are other alternatives out there that would be better suited to the job of being an aspect of the
if there were other alternatives for Wrathion, I wonder what the fuck else he could have been doing.
Really excited about this expansion is the
good thing the one player he has a character he has a connection with got fucking fridged with his abuser and his abuse plays.
Before he went full crazy world dragon that he put into motion.
Neltharion saw those primalists that were kind of breaking away from the aspects and what they wanted. And so in those first experiments, he took the essence of dragons, their strength, their nobility, their wisdom, and he combined it with that scrappiness, that adaptability that the mortal races had. And he wanted to use that to create the ideal soldier in his mind, the Dracthyr. Exploration is really one of the key themes of this expansion. We're going to be going to this ancient place that the dragons left behind long ago. So we've made these huge zones with all kinds of places to delve into and find little treasures and little secrets tucked away. It's gonna be a lot of fun for players to be exploring these landscapes.
And there's so much architectural history and how clearly aspirational was the kingdom of the dragons and how it lost so much. And the themes of trying to return to that, to try to find your legacy, to try to figure out who you were before everything went awry. But there's questions, thematic questions of what does it mean to be true to your legacy? Are we going to repeat the mistakes of the past?
The dragons have had to learn those lessons just like the mortal kingdoms have had to. And I think that's one of the reasons why the dragons see this now as the time that they have to return and they have to step up once again as protectors of Azeroth.
Against
We're helping
what?
the dragons because the dragons have helped us in the past too. So by using the Explorers League and the Reliquary together, that allows us to delve into some of that history.
And when I look
Explorers
upon
League
the
and
Dragon
Reliquary,
Isles
like
and
that.
all of its visual splendor, I get so excited for the prospect of a truly Azerothian
This looks like an area
adventure
from Venthyr,
alongside
or
Kalikos,
Revendreth.
along with Wrathion, Ebonhorn, with Ysera's daughter Marithra, as each one of them is trying to find their own flight. I am taken by the exploration and the potential for adventure and just new horizons within this world.
There's going to be old stories from that time past, that history that only the dragons knew for the longest time. We're going to be able to explore that. It really feels like just a breath.
The history you know was not the real truth.
Now we're going to turn things over to some of our colleagues who will take you on that deep dive into the locations and the features of Dragonflight.
Cool, thanks, Steve the Newser. Thank you for having fucking Wrathion after you purposefully just fridged Anduin, you fucking coward, bigot, homophobe. I hate that. That will forever, that will automatically make me not like this expansion. Sorry. Alright. Let's do the Waking Shores and the Ohn'ahran Plains. Wait. Ohn'ahran? That's the... I know that name. Where's Ohn'ahran? Where's that from? Oh, it's from the Legion, what was that? Was Hunters, right? The Legion Hunter storyline? It's the bird, right? Am I right? I guess we'll see. We're going to start the Waking Shores and the Plains of Ohn'ahran in 3, 2, 1, now. That's a cool tie. That's cool if they're bringing her back. I think I'm right on that, yeah?
Hello, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Gary.
And we're part of the teams that are building the first 2 zones, the Ohn'ahran and the Dragon Isles, the Waking Shore and the Ohn'ahran Plains. The very first zone in Dragonflight you're going to come to is the Waking Shores. It's wild, untamed land. It's waking up around you too, and the elements are just going crazy.
The art team again has hit it out of the park.
You'll see like a lava mountain flowing in through the beach, giant proto-dragons swooping down, gobbling up members of your expedition.
We have such rife opportunities to show elementals rising up because of the crazy magic that's flying around.
With a little more green.
It's just how you get to the Dragon Isles, right? So you're gonna get on your boat in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and the first thing you do is sail between like the dragon ruin architectures. The boats come right alongside each other. You can jump from one boat to the other and just start causing havoc on the other faction's boat.
For those who love PvP, this is a great opportunity for War Mode.
It's free for all out there. It's gonna be great. But it's okay. There's an innkeeper on the beach, so that if you're in that situation and you don't want to be in War Mode anymore, you can just hop out right there.
The Reliquary and the Explorers League are working together.
The Horde and Alliance are sending an expedition together. It's not the military, it's not the soldiers. This is the scientists, the settlers, exploring this new land. So it's a lot more optimistic.
Good, lean into the
One of my favorite things about the Waking Shores is the Red Dragonflight, led by Queen Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder. They have the mandate of nurturing and protecting all life, which means Horde and Alliance, Gorloks, trolls, everybody. So they take that duty seriously. When the Horde and the Alliance come to the Waking Shores, they want to be there to help guide the people through the new land and welcome them. But they're not the only one in the Waking Shores.
Why are we going there?
We have the ancestral home of the
Black
Dragon.
You could tell us that without spoiling any of the major stories.
Which has fallen on tough times since Deathwing's descent. And so Wrathion's coming over to the Isles with us, and he's going to try and come to terms with the state of the Dragonflight, which is a few loyal Draconids and Dragon Spawn trying to hold their ground. What can the future of the Dragonflight be if it's just Wrathion?
You know who could really help him out? His real good friend.
Also, their longtime rival,
where is
Jarden.
he?
I love the Jardins so much. They're half giants that wield the power of magma, and when the Waking Shores and the Dragon Isles went to slumber, they also slumbered. They're back now, and they are ready to
They're like literally just Blackrock orcs using lava in Gorgon.
Parading around, just stomping on your face.
And they were the enemies of the Dragonflight for so long. They fought against the Red Dragonflight, hunted dragons down, and they're really taking this opportunity to rise up. As the Red Dragonflight have the mandate of nurturing life, they don't want to just stomp out the Jarden completely, but they want to make sure that they don't have the power to affect those around them negatively, to make sure they don't
the Red
go
Dragonflight
on a
fucking up
rampage and
other
destroy
civilizations.
the
That
ecosystem
tracks
that
for what they've always been doing.
And so those are
at
awesome
least
things in the Waking Shore. But Steph, there really is only one right answer for the best thing in Waking Shores, right?
What?
This is true. Ducks.
We finally have those webbed feet hooligans in our game. We cracked the technology. We got them.
Figure it out.
There really are ducks in Warcraft?
You should be proud.
Thank you.
I didn't know that.
It's gonna be awesome.
The Ohn'ahran Plains come right after the Waking Shores. It's so breathtaking at first glance.
The Ohn'ahran plains are big, wide open plains. And the player is going to be constricted a little bit, and then you see this big contrast of a zone. We don't always get that opportunity, that cinematic moment where the player can have a framed view when they see this area.
Come out and you got that postcard shot of the plains.
Oh, that's cool.
And
I like
then
games that do that. Elden Ring did that really
giant
well.
fire proto-dragon breathing fire, and a herd of centaur like harpoon down the proto-dragon and crash into the ground. And the first thing you get to do is go help them kill the proto-dragon. Like, how cool is that?
Oh, we're allied with the centaur.
Ohn'ahran is the wild god of the wind. And she's appeared before as like this big spirit eagle.
That's the hunter one, right?
The
From the Hunter Legion
to
Hall.
the Dragon Isles many, many years ago. She blessed them, took their caravan across, and then showed them the plains.
How fun at the beginning of this expansion was exploring the culture of the centaur.
The centaur are these mighty, awesome hunters that back when they first came to the Dragon Isles, they fought the green dragons all day long. Eventually, they realized that we're strong, you're strong. Maybe we should stop decimating each other's people. We'll make peace, we'll make an agreement. You guys hang out in the groves, and the centaur will hang out in the plains. But now, the dragons have been gone for 10,000 years. And the centaur have come so far since then. And they've been here, and they've been existing and developing their culture. They all came over as one clan led by the mighty Maruk and Tira, and they founded a new life.
Tira.
So if you want to get across, you have to follow their rules and their traditions. You have to earn their trust. You are the first outsiders to come in generations upon generations.
It's the Ara. It's
the centaur
Stormblood.
might rule the open plains, but the green dragons make their home in the groves. And those groves are
I see that
absolutely
draconid on the left
gorgeous.
right there.
And how great a job it is that we have where I can take all of this beautiful artwork and build these beautiful fantasy groves, high fantasy. We want to do lots of things with an open plane, and we want to be creative with that.
But
we're restraining ourselves by letting the zone sing, letting the horizon tell the story. We certainly couldn't have done that in the vanilla WoW.
No, definitely not. The zones are so big, and you can see so far, especially in Ohn'ahran Plains.
Why bring that up?
So we talked to the engineers, and we actually increased that distance.
It spurs you on to want to adventure and look through the zone and explore everything.
Expand the view distance.
The interesting thing for me is we have all these conflicts with the Dragonflights. There's missing dragons, there's battles, there's so much crazy stuff happening, but that's not really all we're doing. There's so much extra fun activities for people to do. And the greatest thing is that you need to figure out exactly what's going on and help solve all the problems that are just sprouting up everywhere.
We're just really excited to tell a story.
Could you even hint at what the problems are? Because why are we doing
this? There's so much more to talk about. But now we're going to have some folks talking about the next two zones that players are going to experience in the Dragon Isles.
All right, so I want to make something very clear. I don't want them to spoil the story for me because I've been saying that forever, that I hate that they spoil the story. And I'm comparing it to Final Fantasy. But with Final Fantasy, you at least understand why you're doing what you are doing. Like when by the time you get to Shadowbringers, you're like, okay, I know why I am on the first. They give you enough information before the game comes out to you're like, okay, you understand the threat. And then for Endwalker, you're like, okay, the end of days is happening. Why are we in the Dragon Isles? Are they ever going to tell us? Like, what are we doing there? Like, they mentioned, like, a resurgence of elemental energy from what? From what the jailer did? When he tried to blow up the planet? Or steal its life? Or what? From what? I would at least like to a little bit know why I should care. Like, that's what I want to know. Why should I care about the Dragon Isles? Because right now I don't, really. I mean, like, good luck to the dragons. Have fun at your home. Like, it would suck if they all died, but what is the point of what? Why do the Horde and Alliance give a shit about the Dragon Isles? That's what I want to know. You could tell me the answer without spoiling or anything. I hope they know that. All right, so let's go to the next one is the Azure Span and Thaldraszus. So let's look at that in 3, 2, 1, now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kate.
I'm Christy.
I'm Kate.
I'm Sean. We're going to talk today about Thaldraszus and the Azure Span. So Azure Span is going to be the third zone that players adventure through, and it's one of our biggest zones that we've done in the Dragonflight, maybe even to date.
We knew it was going to be like the largest visual elevation change, and it really started with this great concept art. When we first were taking a look at the design, We kept coming back to one of our favorite
Grizzly
raft
Hills.
zones, which was Grizzly Hills. And we really wanted to take
It
that,
looks just
but
like it.
wowify it more. And I don't know if you've ever been up to the Bay Area, but in the morning, that coastal fog comes in and dips down into the redwoods and that sun shines through. That's really what we wanted to encapsulate with this forest. And not only we have redwoods, but we've got all different types of trees. Eventually, it'll break open into
That
this
looks like a
wide
place
open
exactly
tundra
from
that's just
Revendreth.
golden and
That
red,
shot right there.
and you'll reach up to another level of elevation where you get to see the snow.
Oh,
The
it's
majority of the
Ohn'ahran.
zone is covered in snow and ice. We have giant frozen waterfalls, ice rivers as far as the eye can see. And Sean, I know in the forest, we can expect our first creatures.
We have a small group that lives there called the Gnolls. These gnolls are all throughout the forest and Azure span. They've made this their home. Some gnolls with strange magic that we're going to find out what exactly that's about. Snow gnolls, or as I call them, the snolls, up in the winter area. And then some regular gnolls that are just going to be around the forest area. So then we go into the big open tundra where we meet our second group, the Tuskar.
So this is
It's
just the
gonna be
Wrath of the
really
Lich
neat to
King
explore their
expansion.
culture a lot more.
And those kids are adorable.
I absolutely
A
love the
third
Tuskar. Honestly, all my downtime's probably just me hanging out with the Tuskar.
This is all the
It's been a little while
non-Scourge
since
Wrath of
we've
the
seen
Lich
them.
King
Remember the Tuskar
expansion.
from Wrath of the Lich King.
Last
They're
one
also
was
getting a nice cool
Scourge
upgrades
Wrath
for
of the
their
Lich King.
models, along with expanding their culture. So there are going to be
Really
male
leaning into
Tuskar,
that
female
Wrath, huh?
Tuskar kids. So we're going to fight alongside them, which includes help from a certain group of dragons, the blue dragons. We're going to follow the story of Kalagos.
Hey,
our
he
blue
finally
dragon
got a new
buddy
model.
From the Kirin Tor, and he's going to be adventuring into Sindragos' archives. It's a giant zone. There's a lot of surprises. When we're done there, we head over to Thaldraszus.
Thaldraszus. It's really incredible
Cinderosa,
because
huh? They're just
you will
making
be
her
going
more
through
important.
some of the previous
Remember
zones
her
and seeing a
from
lot
Wrath?
of ruins for the dragon buildings. But when you get to Thaldraszus, everything is perfectly intact. It's beautiful. It's pristine. It is the seat of power for all 5 Dragonflights and home of the dragons.
So what is this?
It feels that way with the
Crystal Storm
huge vertical
Forest.
mountains. We've got these great cave systems where you may end up finding
some
little
storm
dragon
peaks.
hordes.
My favorite Dragonflight right now is the Bronze. They've got a really cool area in Thaldraszus, and their magic is time. There's so many cool story hooks that we could dig into there. There's so many cool gameplay options.
Like what?
And
Could
we
you
have a
be
little bit of an adventure
specific?
for players? It's gonna be a lot
Could
of
you
fun.
be a little
Can't wait.
more
We
specific?
really wanted it to feel like their old stomping grounds. One of the really cool features is going to be the main city and player hub for this expansion, Valdrakken. It is a culmination of all of the dragon's efforts to put together what a city would look like. So we ended up having a bunch of really fun small vignettes where you can see that the blue Dragonflight is hosting a public
it's
library.
Dragon Dalaran.
And the red and green Dragonflights both have their own separate gardens. We'll also have some convenient services for players, including an auction house in the city, which will be really nice
that's
if you're
good.
looking for
In the
more
current
exotic
expansion
wares.
city,
The
having an
thing
auction
that
house.
really sold me on Thaldraszus was the initial concept art we got of Tyrhold.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And this is a 10,000-year-old Titan technological marvel. Tyrhold has these awesome aqueducts that actually come out from the structure all the way to the city across the valley. And in the cinematic, there's just this amazing shot where you see Alexstrasza swoop under one of them, and there's splashes of water cresting across her wings. So when players are flying around themselves, they get to have their Alexstrasza moment. What an incredible place and filled with so much history.
Tyrhold was built by Tyr. He was a Titan Keeper back in the day who helped the Aspects fight
So was the
Galakrond.
broken one we saw
And
at the top, was
when
that actually
they settled
Tyr
on the Dragon
himself?
Isles, he built this
Did he
facility.
somehow get back here?
And
Is
even
that
though
him?
Tyr's gone, the dragons have held him in reverence. But that was 10,000 years ago, and they've let
'Cause
the
his arm is
Titans
gone.
maintain the place. An incredible amount of history has happened since then. Flights have been nearly wiped out. There have been invasions, betrayals. Aspects have died. And these are the kind of things that leave marks on a society. So now they're all back here, and they're all here together.
As we were designing the zone and the city itself, we're trying to figure out, how do we tell those stories at the same time as making sure that this is a really convenient place for players to go and, go shopping, as they tend to do. So much adventuring happening on the Dragon Isles.
It's so cool.
As a player, you probably don't have your own dragon wings. You are going to learn the art of dragon riding.
It's so vertical, and I'm just
I did see
excited to
that also.
dive off the tops of towers and swoop under things.
It's actually one of the things
Well, I
that we're
heard the
about to
idea.
learn about next.
All right, so I I'm really trying hard not to be overly negative. The Wrathion stuff you're never going to sell me on. You will never, ever, 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 ever sell me on Wrathion without Anduin. I don't care if he's the best character in Dragonflight. He will automatically not be as good because Anduin's not involved in the storyline. So, fuck that immediately. I don't even give two shits that Wrathion's in this expansion if Anduin's not also part of it. I just don't care. Also, they really need to like have a clearer difference between paying an homage to a zone and then just copying the aesthetic for a second or third time. Because every one of these zones is like, oh, that's Grizzly Hills. Oh, that's Koldara. Oh, that's Howling Fjord. Oh, that's the Storm Peaks. Oh, that's Crystal Song Forest. Like, it's not... All of this is with the caveat of we haven't gotten into the zones, but also that's because they haven't shown off a lot of in-game stuff, actually. If you go back and, like, think about it. A lot of these have been, like, artwork from Chronicle, or from other places, or just showing the people talking. There really isn't that much in-game stuff yet. But I will say, so that could change, but all of these zones are just like, let's copy the assets, bump up the res on them from Wrath, and then put them in this, and be like, remember Wrath of the Lich King again. And I don't appreciate that anymore. Because I used to, because it didn't feel like a crutch, but now it feels like a crutch. Oh, we're just doing Dragonblight. Oh, we're doing dragons again. Like I said, this is literally just everything from Wrath of the Lich King except for the Scourge, because we just did Wrath of the Lich King Scourge the last expansion. Literally with the Jailer just being super Lich King and having all his abilities. And it's just a crutch at this point, and I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I don't know. If this is supposed to be... Look, for this being Steve Denuzer's baby and his thing that he's doing new for the first time, it sure does seem like 90% of it is copy-pasted aesthetically from Wrath of the Lich King. So, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. So, the last one is the Dracthyr, Evoker, and Dragonriding. We'll take a look at this video. And then we'll do one more for the talent systems and professions. I'm not going to comment on that, but I can already tell I know where that's going to be going. And I'm like, I can already play a different game to get that. So anyway, let's begin with the Dracthyr one right now in 3, 2, 1, now.
Hi, I'm Jake.
I'm Andy.
I'm Kali.
And I'm Graham. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about the Dracthyr Evoker, our new race and class coming in Dragonflight.
We're here to talk about not only the Evoker, but also Dragonriding, which is our exciting expression into the exploration of the Dragon Isles.
We knew with a dragon-themed expansion, we wanted to let you play a dragon. Not a big dragon, Alexstrasza size. That'd be tough to fit into raids. I'm sorry, Jake.
Okay.
I know.
Fine.
But a draconic humanoid. So the Dracthyr, created by Neltharion.
Oh
and
no,
like
that screenshot I saw was
you
real?
You get to choose if you want to start on the Horde or Alliance side on character creation.
So let's talk a little bit about the Evoker, the class they can be. What's unique about it is because the Dracthyr are created by an aspect, they have the ability to wield the magic of all 5 Dragonflights. So Evokers can take advantage of red magic and blue magic and bronze magic.
And to show that, we created a visual, what we call a prismatic effect.
But not black?
This prismatic effect is basically the coalescence of all their energy as they channel it into whatever spell that they're going to cast. You have a red magic spell called Pyre. So when you shoot it out of your mouth, it twirls in the air with all 5 of the Dragonflight's magic as it turns into the red spell before landing on your enemies and exploding and hopefully burning them. And
I'll take that one.
Getting that vibe across that they use all 5 was really important to us, but we did want to make sure that each specialization focused on 2, because casting 5 different colors gets a bit messy. So their damage dealer specialization, their first of 2, Devastation, mostly focuses on red and blue magic. Red being very fast and explosive, burning everything with Pyre, whereas blue is more focused and overwhelming. You can shoot a beam of energy out of your mouth to disintegrate one single enemy in front of you.
There's a healer spec called Preservation. The healer spec is going to focus mostly on your green and your bronze magic. So your green is going to be evocative of the Emerald Dream, your growth and your nurturing spells. And then you have your bronze magic, which is going to be more timey-wimey. So you get to heal a wound faster.
So in addition to the visuals and the animation, which all make you feel very powerful,
I wanted to know more about the bronze version specifically.
To the cast. We have a new type of spell called Empower. where when you actually hold down the button on your keyboard, it charges up the spell. The longer you charge it up, it might do more damage,
Oh, it's Lost
or hit
Ark.
more targets depending on the spell. But it gives you this really physical connection and control that's new for World of Warcraft, and I think is feeling really, really good.
We have some great animations. Thank you, Andy, your team.
You love it, Andy.
You feel physical when you're casting your spells.
You can actually fly around the battlefield and cast while you're flying.
Raining fire and death from above.
That's cool. It's also going to get a lot of people killed.
In addition to the gameplay, though, another part of feeling draconic is looking like a dragon.
Well, we talk about dragons breathing fire, but you know what's actually fire?
What's actually
These
fire?
customizations.
Oh my goodness.
But no, they're really, really
They're
cool.
awesome.
Because you have both your draconic form and your
purple.
humanoid form. And the customization options for both of them are amazing.
They're very good.
What about color? Just tell me you
tell
can
us about the
change
color.
You can do a lot of
See,
matching.
that looks
So
cool.
your
Ooh,
visage form
oops.
can have scales that
Okay,
are the
that's
same
not
color
just
as
Aura
your
from
Dracthyr
Final
form.
Fantasy, but
But
all
my
right,
favorite,
it's fine.
super favorite
It's cool
part
looking.
of customization for the visage form, hair.
Yeah.
Because I can actually do this in game.
Visage form,
Yeah,
like
Jack is
Visage
here.
Day from Fairy Tales.
As players
That's
make
cool
their way
looking.
through each of the areas of the
I like
Dragon
the
Isles,
hair.
they'll partner up with the Dragonflights to move through the air as they've never done before. You'll notice I did not say flying, because flight has a very specific meaning for World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it does.
And we're talking about something new called Dragonriding.
And as the players are honing their dragon riding skills, they're going to get to see all new animations that go along with the different look and feel of the drakes.
We're aiming
So it's like
to
a sprint
shake
in
up
the air?
movement
That's
with this
cool.
new system, providing players with a deeper immersion with forces
Or like a
like
dash in
momentum
the air, I
and
mean.
gravity.
We knew that for Dragonflight, we were going to have the opportunity to show players a whole new set of Dragon Isle drakes, completely unique from all the other things they've seen in World of Warcraft.
Doesn't,
and so we wanted to come up with a
I
movement
haven't
system
played it, but
that would add
doesn't
that
Guild
sense
Wars
of
2
physics,
have a
weight, and gravity,
flight
like you were
system like this?
mentioning. We knew it was going to take a huge team effort, not just animation, but it was going to take effects. It was going to take the engineering team, who we rely on heavily, and that combined with some new animations really helps to lend that feeling of physics as you move through the air in ways that you haven't before. And the icing on the cake is going to be some really cool effects that we've added on top of all of that. So for example, when you start hitting, maximum velocity, you're going to see contrails coming off the edges of the wings. And then as you do your rolls and spirals, you build up more and more speed. There's going to be some screen effects on the display to indicate that you're reaching maximum velocity, which really adds to the overall
I mean, that's
kind of
cool. Is there
immersion and
gameplay
sense of
attached to this,
reality.
actually? Besides...
As players make their way through the Dragon Isles, they'll discover new cosmetic options to fine-tune their Dragon Isle Drake's appearances. Things like snoots, horns, tails, elusive Dragon Isle Drake armor, and more.
Can I have spikes?
Definitely.
Okay.
We want to provide players with all new skills to play with, as those who can use their momentum well can reach higher and higher heights, and bring on new, more difficult challenges.
We just have so many new, gorgeous options to
I
choose
just had
from.
a terrible
and
realization.
I'm just so excited for all of them.
I'm excited for the whole thing. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to work on, but I can't wait to actually get into game, play it with you guys.
I can't wait. I can't wait to fly around Dragon Isles. It's gonna be great.
Next up, you're going to hear about the talent revamp and the UI changes coming in Dragonflight.
Nope, we're not today. I just had a terrible realization. I need to go look at the website right the fuck now. With flying. Explore Dragonflight. I'll put a screenshot up of what I hope they explain, and I hope I'm wrong. Alright, so we got the trailer, the Evoker. Here we go. Mastering the Skies. Special moves. As you grow in skill, you and your Drake will master new maneuvers. Fight against exhaustion and pull of the earth. The denizens of the Dragon Isles will knock you out of the sky. Oh no. Talented Rider. Continue to improve your dragon riding skill at max level by hunting down glyphs and advancing your new Dragon Rider skill tree. That was it. Oh, fuck. Because in my brain, the whole time I've been watching this, I've been like, wow, they really haven't mentioned, like, artifact power or Azurite power or what the fuck ever power. I wonder where they're going to build that system into. Here we go! Here's our max level extra grind. I guarantee you this talent system is going to be I guarantee you 95 of the percent of the things on this talent tree system for dragon flying is going to be take longer to get dazed, take longer to get knocked off, prevent knockoff, maybe at the very bottom of the tree. I don't want to have to grind to get a fucking convenience feature that I've had for 15 years back. The customization is cool. Why include this bit? If I already like dragon flying, I will go seek out the customization shit on my own and keep playing it. You don't have to force me to do it with the talent system. Fuck that. I hate that already. I hate that. I just hate it. I don't like it. So, story-wise, I don't even know what the fuck we're doing in the Dragon Isles. Why did we go there? What awakened the dragons? What the hell did the Alliance and the Horde give two shits about it? They just had an expansion where literally all their religions got fucking destroyed and we're not going to even talk about it. If you're going to do Shadowlands, do the ramifications of Shadowlands. Like, at least be consistent with it. I don't want more Shadowlands, but you could find a way to discuss the ramifications of Shadowlands without doing it again. So now it's just like, fuck it, we're going to the Dragon Isles because it's dragons. It's like, I need more motivation to care or go or want to do that. Couple that with the fact that it's just like, oh, we just stole all the ideas of Wrath of the Lich King for the third time. I don't know, man. This is not enough to get me back. This is not enough to make me resubscribe. I guess that's it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I guess we'll do the last two things later. But until then, okie doke.